Hello, 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 everybody. This is Big Baby Ben.
And this is Judas Black Knight, guys. And guess what? MCW is back at Skydive Chicago and Ottawa, Illinois on April 25th, featuring MCW Street Fight and much, much more. But quickly, like we promised you guys, we kind of want to dig into a little bit, couple minutes into the WrestleMania Night 2 card. Big Baby?
WrestleMania is such a major event in wrestling. WrestleMania weekend has always been big, and I really honestly cannot wait. Some big matches, and we're going to dig into those right now. And Logan Paul versus AJ Styles.
Austin?
Judas?
Logan Paul versus AJ Styles, it's a clash of the old style and the new generation of wrestlers who want to come into this business and try to take over. My personal opinion in this, I think the experience is going to get the upper hand. The only reason that Logan Paul wins this is that they're trying to make him look good and build him up the ladder. Austin?
Yeah, honestly, I did a podcast earlier today, and we kind of talked about WrestleMania, and that was one of the things that I was kind of addressing. I think night two overall is what I'm more excited for, but especially that matchup with Logan Paul and AJ Styles. I think that's going to be a match that people are kind of underestimating. It's definitely going to be a spectacular match. It may not be everyone's favorite flavor of ice cream, to say the least, but it's WrestleMania, man. Let's just have some fun. And I think between those two being in the ring and going out there and doing what they're going to do best, it's going to be fun to watch. So I'm excited for it, man.
Okay. Big Baby?
And I got my boy the Maverick Logan Paul pulling out here. He's got some really good spots, and he's really good at the high flying, kind of like you are, AMB. He's really good at springboarding off the ropes, and so it's gonna be a high flyers match. So I can't wait. We got Braun Breaker versus Finn Balor versus Penta versus Dominique Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship.
I'm thinking, Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor, they're going to be each other's downfall in that match. It's been building up the fallout between those two guys, and then it's going to come down to Penta and Braun Breaker. But I think Braun Breaker is going to retain that championship. Triple H is very high on him right now, and Penta's very good. Don't get me wrong; he's an amazing high flying luchador wrestler, but I got Braun Breaker pulling out the victory and retaining his championship. Austin?
I honestly think Dominic Mysterio might steal this one. I think that would be very, very interesting. But also, just kind of hanging out with some people earlier today, was kind of intrigued with one of my buddy's ideas. He had this idea, what if there's a scenario in this match where Penta is outnumbered by the Judgment Day and needs a little bit of help? Maybe that's the debut for Phoenix, let him come in on WrestleMania, get a little bit of a moment there, and just make that big debut and really make a big splash since he's been in WWE. So there's a lot of things that can really happen with that match. But honestly, I have to say I think Dominic's going to steal it in some way. Somehow he's going to manage to piss the fans off,
He always does.
Yeah.
Big Baby?
I got my boy Penta here getting the W. I think you put the title on him smart right now. He's very popular. His entrance is popping. Every time he comes out, the crowd's popping for him. And he's such a major international star that he's going to be good for revenue sales. So I think putting the Intercontinental title will be a smart move for Penta. But we got a street fight. And it's Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre.
Sounds like we're talking a lot about street fights here tonight. Damian Saint. Jesus, I've got Damians all over the place. Damian Priest in this given scenario, I got him all day. Drew McIntyre, hell of a fighter, hell of a Scotsman. But when it comes to the street, Damian Priest all night. And that's my pick on this one. Austin?
I'm gonna have to go with Drew McIntyre, man. I think it's time for him to really get one of those moments in front of a big audience on a big stage.
Yep.
Um, and I think, he's doing some of the best work he's done in a very long time. I'm a big fan of Drew McIntyre. I wish I was built like him. Uh, you, unfortunately, God didn't get
Right.
me like that. But he's amazing, and he's actually like such a throwback wrestler, in my opinion. So yeah, I got to go with Drew McIntyre.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna have to go with Drew McIntyre. Also, he's been robbed the last couple WrestleManias, and I think they gotta give him a W this WrestleMania.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. All right. I'm usually good at these prediction things.
We got Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, and Io Sky.
Austin, go and take the wheel first, man.
Repeat that match. I'm sorry.
Bianca Belair, Rhea
Okay.
Ripley, and Io Sky.
I don't know, man. No one's hotter right now than Mommy, right?
Yeah, Io's popping.
She is. Listen, I actually watched the match. I think it was like over the summer, maybe September. She was in Japan, I believe.
Yep.
Dude, she is truly remarkable to watch. And she's doing good stuff in WWE. A lot of people are over there. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. No one's hotter than Mommy right now. She's kind of untouchable, I would say. She's very dominant. Um, and she's still got a lot left in the tank. She can still
Yeah,
get back. She can still do a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna have to go with Rhea Ripley on that one.
You know, I would love to see Rhea Ripley win in this given scenario. But I think that they're underestimating Io. We've seen him where they shoved her in the face when they're going face to face. I think they're going to let the rivalry between the two of them, Rhea and Bianca Belair, get a little too hot, and Io's going to steal the victory on this one. Big baby, there you go.
I'm gonna have to go with Io Sky on this. She just got that world title. I don't think it's time for her to drop it yet. I'd like to see a lengthy reign from her. Maybe a dominant reign would be nice to really build her up. She is underestimated, but she's such a remarkable talent. Flying through the sky is, it's hard to do. I can't even imagine doing it. So for her to pull off the stunts that she does, kudos.
You're true.
And then we got the main event that night
You
that
missed the
everyone.
match. You
What
missed the
what match?
match.
What match?
Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, the champions, versus Bailey and Lyra Valkyria.
Pardon me.
I got Liv and Raquel retaining. I don't think it's time
Liv.
for them to lose those titles. Bailey and Lyra, I think that's going to actually turn into a rivalry at some point for over the Women's Intercontinental Championship. So I've got Liv and Raquel retaining it this night.
I got Liv Morgan all day. She's on fire right now. She's hot. She's selling tickets. She's doing her thing, and she's in her prime, and I'm enjoying it. So Liv Morgan.
Austin?
I don't know, man. Some would say that the Judgment Day has kind of ran its course. I think they're kind of just scratching the surface. So I'd have to agree with Ben on that one. I'm gonna have to go with Liv Morgan and Raquel on that match. So
All right. All right. Baby. Main event time. Cody Rhodes versus
Yep.
heel John Cena. I'm going my boy on this one. John Cena. I have been following him since 2002.
yep.
And this is his final run, his final chance to capture that 17th World Championship. And I think he's going to do it as a heel. I will continue to follow him till the day he retires. Austin?
Hey, being that I grew up watching John Cena, and kind of growing up during the Thugonomics era and like really getting to see him from like start to finish, I think it would be very, very cool for him to achieve something like that. You know, I'm a big John Cena fan in the sense that, he just works hard. He's never really left. Um, he truly loves WWE, man. He calls it home. Uh, and I believe that. I believe in John Cena, whether he's good or bad. So there's my choice right there.
This
Absolutely.
is what we needed, in my opinion. Cena turning heel is the greatest heel run that I've seen in a while. This guy. I've seen kids throwing their action figures away, and throwing their shirts away, and rage screamed at the TV. This has been awesome, and when wrestling can do that, you know it's done its job. When you see
Yeah,
the viral videos, yeah,
kind of similar to when like Tom Brady left New England. People were burning his jerseys. They were getting rid of all this stuff. It's really tapped that vein for the WWE audience and the wrestling fans in general. He's a smart man. He knows what he's doing, and he's taken us all on a ride. Um, and when it's all going to be over with, I think John Cena is going to be one of the greatest of all time. He already is, but he's definitely just going to put that exclamation point at the end of the statement and just walk away. And what better way to do it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have dug into WrestleMania WWE, but that's not why we're here primarily tonight. Tonight, we're here to talk about MCW. First, I want to talk about you've had some recent interviews with Bad Karma Wrestling Podcast through Illinois Media School. Austin, why don't you go ahead and talk a little bit about those interviews you've been having?
Yeah, MCW is just continuing to try to figure out ways to kind of grow and just give all the talent and everybody involved a platform to kind of showcase themselves and kind of promote and create new avenues for everybody. And they've been very, very welcoming. They have a tremendous studio in Chicago, and they invited MCW and some of the wrestlers and the talent on behalf of them and the Illinois Media School to work with them and partake in some interviews. And it's been very exciting. It's been very fun. Um, you know, lately it's been a challenge kind of working with those guys. I did an interview earlier today, and that was a little offsetting. But, you know, all in all, they're good people. They're trying to do the same thing MCW is trying to do, provide some opportunities, create new avenues for people. Not even just within wrestling. If you want to go and learn any sort of media outlets or get any sort of training and experience and knowledge about how to do what they do, you can apply at their school. It's such a good thing, and for them to choose MCW to kind of work with, for us being an upstart company and things like that, it shows, the groundwork that MCW is really laying out there, the presentation, and people really see the long term goal that we're trying to do here. And it's very, very rewarding, for them to just give us that opportunity to kind of just go up there and interact with them and see what they do, to be in front of cameras like that and to be in a real legit studio and just kind of learn how things are done for all of us involved to get to that next level and to up our game. So it's been awesome,
Absolutely, absolutely. Shout out to Bad Karma Wrestling and Illinois Media School for opening up those opportunities,
Absolutely.
branching out, and we hope that maybe at some point we can do something with them. Get in connection with them, and then maybe do an episode with them as well for the Wrestling Bros podcast along with them. Um, now we're going to dig into the full match card for MCW Street Fight April 25th. I'm going way in the future. April 25th. Big baby, you got that card pulled up in front of you, right?
Yeah, there we go.
There's all the talent. It's just going to be an amazing show, guys. But let's go ahead and dig into that match card. And then I got some interesting promos that were sent over here, to us at the Wrestling with Bros podcast that I'd like to play along with talking about each of these individual matches that are coming up April 25th. Big Baby, do you have you got the card pulled up for the list I sent you a little bit ago?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first match that I want to bring up here is a triple threat tag team match. The OGs versus Jack and Eddie versus Risky Business. And I'm going to go ahead and play a promo that was cut earlier today by Jack and Eddie.
In April 25th at MCW, we're going to run a train on the tag team division. Oh, chill. What he meant to say is that our opponents, Risky Business, they like to run trains on each other. You think that the stuff's just a cover-up? Might be, yeah. And then who else is in the match? Now we got that point across. The OGs. OGs? We're the OGs of MCW's tag division. We've been there since the very beginning. And now we've taken a few shows off, and now we're coming back to a whole new tag scene. MCW, you must have forgot who the first and the best tag team is in MCW. And that is I, Eddie Grayson, and Jack Taylor, baby. Not only that, but we're undefeated. We're going to keep that winning streak going April 25th at Skydive Chicago, baby. Woo! That's right.
Jack and Eddie, very talented young men, very quick in the ring. Run a train, man. That one caught me off guard. The OGs definitely do have experience. I will give them that. Risky Business, I have yet to see. I am very interested to see what they provide in the ring. But I think they're all going to have their hands full when it comes to Jack and Eddie. Very talented young men, very quick in the ring. And they're undefeated, as they said at MCW. And I don't think that streak ends April 25th.
And let's not forget, Jack and Eddie's IQ levels in the ring are very high for a young age. They're very well. They're very good in the ring. They're very good to watch. Their spots are amazing, and it's hard to take them out. They're going to be a nuisance in the tag division again. And I can't wait to see their comeback.
Just to kind of piggyback off of what you said, kind of spark some intrigue in this whole conversation here. I will speak on Jack and Eddie. They have so much fire, so much passion. They love pro wrestling. They're constantly working hard. They're going all across the Midwest, just showing everybody exactly who they are, what they're capable of. And they're doing it at such a young age. It's so impressive that a lot of people don't even realize how good that they are, and how good that they will be if they just keep doing what they're doing. So, shout out to Jack and Eddie. But
absolutely,
just to kind of piggyback off of you, Judas, the OGs, Mason Conrad, Joey Marks, they're the heroes of our time, as they also like to call themselves. Very, very high IQ when it comes to tag team wrestling. The fluidity of these guys, the creativeness of these two, and just the seasonal experience. A lot of people don't even realize that these guys have done multiple trips and tours down in Mexico and wrestled some of the very best names throughout Mexico, So these guys, they're mainstays at Gali Lucha Libre. They've kind of come across Jack and Eddie's route, I would say, when it comes to pro wrestling. They've rubbed each other's shoulders a few times. They've gotten in the ring. They've locked up, and so it'd be interesting just in that regard to see those two. But then you add in the mix of Risky Business. Now, personally, I'm not really a big fan of these guys, but they bring something to the table that MCW needs. And I think, MCW general manager Damian Saint, I don't think he's that much of a fool, So he must feel that they bring something to the table. And, I'll be keeping a close eye on that match as well, because that one has the potential, honestly, to steal the show. So.
Absolutely. And then we lead into the women's match. Leslie Michelle versus Big Hoss Hippie, Reagan Liddell. Now, I understand from what I'm being told that there's going to be a third female that's going to be standing at ringside during this match, trying to learn from the talents of Leslie Michelle, and it is this young lady, Davina.
Yeah, yeah, in my hands is a big blue. Hey, sorry. What? Have I told you about interrupting me when I'm looking at myself in the mirror? Right, sorry, I was just trying to.
Can you hear it?
It's fine. Because
Oh, I hear it.
I'm actually
Trying to
excited
figure out what I
about
hear.
something besides my dad raising my credit card limit. You still need to get on that, by the way. Because Friday, April 25th at Skydive Chicago, I have the wonderful opportunity to learn under the tutelage of the miraculous Leslie Michelle. When she faces Reagan Lydale. Reagan, this isn't the 70s. Nobody's wearing tie-dye anymore, girl. Get it together. And I mean, yeah, Leslie can't really dress, but I mean, at least she's kind of a good person. So Reagan, Friday, April 25th at Skydive Chicago, me and Leslie are gonna... April 25th? You said, do you have a match? You didn't... No, I never said I was in the match. I just said, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Sure. Reagan Lydale, April 25th. Me and Leslie Michelle are gonna show you why you're nothing but a big hot loser.
So this match is going to be interesting enough with Leslie Michelle and Big Hoss Reagan Lydell.
Queen
But
Reagan.
but that Davina, man, her screeching, it reminds me of Vicky Guerrero, the way she screeches and hollers. But I think I've got Reagan Lydell winning this. I think that she is
I agree.
going to overcome the odds of Davina and Leslie Michelle, because we know Davina is going to get involved somewhere. She ain't just showing up to stare at the ring. But Reagan Lydell is very talented, very quick, and even when the numbers are stacked against her, she knows how to handle her own, and she's going to do such on April 25th.
Hey, that's
Everyone
new.
knows. Everybody
That's-
knows I'm a big Reagan fan. Queen Reagan is going to get the W here. No question, no doubt.
Okay.
All right, Austin, what are you thinking on that, man?
But hey, man, that's news to me. I think Reagan, even without that outside interference, I think Reagan's still gonna walk away victorious. Reagan's been not only putting in a lot of work at MCW, she's going all over. She's freelance, Honor Among Wrestling, and so many other places. She's constantly evolving. Whereas Leslie Michelle just came off of a recent injury, just came back to pro wrestling. So that'd be pretty interesting. But whoever's reffing that, man, please do your damn job. I'm all about competitive wrestling. I don't care if it's women. I don't care if it's men. I just want to see the match be competitive. So as long as the ref does his job and keeps a close eye on Davina at ringside, hopefully no shenanigans happen. I think Reagan can handle her own.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then the match, guys, we were waiting for to hear about. The third and maybe the final match between White Meat and the Mutants. A
White
2 out of 3, 2 out of 3 falls tag team match to decide who is the best between these two tag teams. The Mutants have taken 2 losses. The White Meat has their number. But personally, I don't think they're going to get the third victory over the Mutants. I think that the Mutants have finally figured out what they need to do, and I think they're going to pick up the victory over White Meat.
No.
He just
White-
shook his head no.
No, white meat is going to be victorious here once again.
Okay. I have no comment on that one.
All right.
I'm wanting
All
to
right.
see it just as everybody else. I think it's only right that Damian Saint made this match official on behalf of the Mutants. The Mutants continue to show everybody while they're, still a new team, they're continuing to show growth. And as long as they have the time to prepare, I think that they're going to do tremendous things as a tag team. You got that nice dynamic of the size and strength with the Black Sheep FXB. And then you got the nice aerial attack and quick, snappy striker effect with Lizard Man Nathan Nile. So I think them two has a good dynamic as a team, and I continue to want to see all of us good guys and good girls get our up and coming. And it's only fair that this match was made official, and I believe that the Mutants will walk away as long as they can keep themselves composed, as long as they don't lose their cool. I think they can walk away with the victory.
All right. Yep.
Matter of fact, I believe, damn it, I believe that they will walk away with the victory. There you go.
Yeah, believe it, guys, because it's going to happen April 25th.
Yeah.
Then we dig into a triple threat match. Eric Surge. I'm very interested with this one because I've never seen this guy, but he seems like a complete powerhouse. Eric Surge versus Aries Creed versus Ethan Everhart. And I've got a promo cut by both Eric Surge and Aries Creed. So we're going to go ahead and play those now.
Midwest Championship Wrestling, you finally acquired probably one of the hottest free agents in the world today, actually. The history maker, the bomb, Eric Surge. But I'm kind of pissed off right now because you got me in a triple threat match against Aries Creed and Ethan Everhart. Boys, and I say that lightly. I see what you guys been doing in the area. You guys are some good hot up-and-comers. But let's be real here. There is nobody that's on the same level as the bomb Eric Surge. So, get some weights, because I'm going to throw you into him. I'm going to throw him into you. I'm going to beat the hell out of both of you guys. And I'm going to get the hell out of there, because you guys aren't on my level. So get ready for the ass whooping of a lifetime.
And then Aries Creed making a response back to what was said in that promo.
It's not often that I find myself standing on the battlefield across from an opponent of equal stature and size to the war god Aries Creed.
Facts.
On Friday, April 25th, when I made my return to Midwest Championship Wrestling at Skydeck Chicago, that's going to change. I'm going to stand across from not one, but two opponents. Not just of equal size and stature. Ethan Everhart, Eric Surge, I've seen you both up close. I've watched both of you, and I have an incredible amount of respect for both of you. You both are bigger than me. It feels like the odds may be stacked against me. I've got a 33% chance of winning this match. Then when you take into account the fact that both of you are bigger, that might diminish my chances. I don't know, okay? But I know that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be counting me out. That's not going to change my approach, boys. I'm going to do what I've been doing every single day of my life. I'm going to fight. I'm going to scratch. I'm going to claw. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure each and every single one of you remember me.
All right, Aries Creed, seen him in the ring myself, an amazing talent, very quick for a guy his size. Ethan Everhart, seen him wrestle, I think, once or twice. Very quick and very agile, but I'm rooting for our new guy, Eric Surge. I don't know, but something tells me that the power is going to overcome both these other talents in this match at MCW.
War God. All day. Aries Creed. Seen him wrestle multiple times at MCW, HAW. at both companies, he was awesome talent to watch at each show. So I can't wait to see him wrestle again. Honestly,
Honestly, I don't want to be in the ring with either one of those guys. They sound determined. They sound like they know what they're gonna do. They sound very calculated. Um, Seems like they both got a chip on their shoulder. And actually, as a matter of fact, if you go on the MCW Instagram and actually just look underneath those posts, they've been
Yeah.
kind of jawing off back and forth online. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Like I said, I would not want to share the ring with any of one of these guys. And it sounds like Ethan Everhart has a lot on his plate going into this match. So
yeah.
if he's unaware of who these guys are, I think he might want to start studying and start preparing for this now. I mean, we only got 7 days. Time is ticking. So, yeah, that's going to be a hoss fight, you know.
Guys, and going into this show, obviously there's always an intermission, always a chance for you to be able to meet the talent in person, to be able to buy merchandise to help these wrestlers continue their journey and continue to be able to perform every month for you in the wrestling ring. Along with the wrestlers that will be there, Wrestling Bros podcast will be in the corner. We're looking forward to meeting our fans as well. And come check out some of our merchandise when we get it placed out on the table. It'll be there. Guys, this is a chance of a lifetime. MCW is a hell of a show, a hell of a performance to watch. And we look forward to seeing you there April 25th. And then we dig into what I've been looking forward to, and I've been waiting for this guy, Rafael Quintero, back in action at MCW for the United States Championship. What will we see? April 25th. Austin, what can we expect with the return of Rafael Quintero?
Cards subject to change all the time. I'm not sure kind of what's going on. I think a lot of us have been kind of updated that there's been some changes leading into that matchup. So all of us are kind of out of the loop, man. We're not sure what's going to happen. We don't know who's going to show up. We don't know if there's going to be a surprise. We don't know if there's going to be, a shocking revelation. We don't know if there's going to be some sort of new championship involved. We don't know. You know what I mean? So all of us wrestlers, all of us that are on the show, all of us a part of the MCW at the show, things are still kind of up in the air. And, Damian Saint, man, he's as much as the fans don't like him, right? He embodies a lot of what MCW is. He works hard day in, day out. He's always working on paperwork. He's always watching talents. He's always scouting. He's always trying to figure out what can MCW do to grow, And, I agree to disagree with the man a lot of the times, but he's working very hard, man. And it seems like he's got something very, very special brewing up for Rafael Quintero.
Boy.
I've shared the ring with Rafael a few times, and he gives it his all. This is a guy who's always himself. It doesn't matter where he's at. Doesn't matter how many people's in the audience. He's very genuine. He's very charismatic. He knows how to very, very well do his job as far as entertaining the people, and he's just an overall good dude. So like they were just saying, you only get very few chances to kind of meet people at their early stages when they start pursuing stuff like this. And you never know when someone's going to take off and go on to that next level. And as far as anybody who's involved with MCW, as far as the roster is concerned, the sky is the limit for Rafael Quintero. The diamond in the rough, from nothing to something. He really is. He's a good dude. You know what I mean? He really is the embodiment of what hard work and dedication and just constantly being a sponge for pro wrestling is. And a lot of people, it's no shock to me that MCW, the fans have missed him. Every show that we've had since he hasn't been with us, they've constantly asked, when's Rafi coming back? When's the diamond in the rough coming home? So that's pretty cool. And I'm sure he's very excited to come back and to bring the MCW US Championship home. It's been away from MCW for a long time. So whether he wants to defend it or whatever Damien's planning, if he's going to defend that belt, I feel like it's going to be something everybody's going to want to come and see. The guy's he's going places, man. He's going places. I can't say enough great things about Rafael Quintero, man.
You said, leading into this next match, it's for the MCW World Championship. You said that Damian Saint has some stuff cooking for Rafael Quintero. And at the last MCW event on February 28th, we seen what I call the Ottawa screw job for Nasty Nick Nolan when Damian Saint had some stuff cooking for Eric Schultz and Nasty Nick Nolan. That's why, you say a lot of the fans just do not like Damian Saint because sometimes it's not in the best interest of what the fans want. But in this given scenario, we have Eric Schultz versus Axel Rico. As much as I want to say Axel Rico deserves this win, he deserves a chance to hold some gold, I think Eric Schultz is walking away with that championship. He's not ready to let go of that. And if he wants to, he's very sly, he's very quick, and he knows how to get himself out of a situation when it comes to holding on to something like that. That's how he gets results. So he calls us wrestling with marks. So that's how I feel about this situation.
Okay. It makes sense now. I put 2 and 2 together. You're doubting Axel Rico? That's crazy. Axel Rico, MCW fans, if you're not familiar with Axel Rico, I know I just said a lot of great things about Rafael Quintero, but Axel Rico is a master clinic technician. He's a master striker. He overall is probably one of the most profound and most put together independent pro wrestlers throughout all of Chicagoland right now. He loves championship gold, as we all do. Us as wrestlers, we love championship gold. I don't think for 1 second Axel Rico's just gonna show up here and just lay down for his buddy and just let this whole thing happen. This is not going to be a ruse. This is going to be something you guys will not want to miss. Hopefully Eric Schultz doesn't put another $100 bill in Damian Saint's pocket and we don't see some more collusion going on that end. So, again, you never know what's going to happen at MCW. You never know who's going to show up. You never know what's going to go down in the match. So best bet, just get your tickets. You don't want to miss it.
From what you're telling me, Austin, you're saying that this is going to be a rude awakening for Eric Schultz.
I think so. I think Eric Schultz, he robbed Nasty Nick Nolan and then gave him the boot in MCW. Whether the fans like Nick Nolan or some don't, he gave it his all every time he stepped within those ropes. And that's what we want at MCW. That's what Damian Saint's looking for. That's all he wants is people that's going to work hard and give it their all, and give these people their money's worth. And I don't think Nasty Nick Nolan did anything wrong to deserve the boot. Do you? Do you? No. Like I didn't see nothing. He didn't hold the tights. He didn't try to cheat. He was trying to be as fair as he could. For once in his career, he was trying to be fair. And it's because he understood that the fans respected him for that. And he finally listened to the fans. And what did it cost him? It costed him his MCW career, So there's so much that kind of happened that night. And I think that's a good name for it, the Ottawa screw job, kind of overplayed, but what a better way to describe it. Nasty Nick Nolan just got robbed every which way. So, I don't think Axel Rico, I don't think he's an idiot. I think he's, aware of Eric Schultz. A lot of people don't know that they have a long history together. Yeah. And that kind of comes into play. And I think Axel's a smart guy, and I don't think he's going to let Eric Schultz weasel his way mentally to come up with something to try to
Playing
rob.
mental games.
Yeah, I don't think Eric Schultz is going to rob these fans again. And if he does, I wouldn't be surprised if the fans start throwing a riot or something, because they are not happy that Eric Schultz has that championship. You know, we all know what that championship means to everybody at MCW. It's
Yep.
the embodiment, you know, of what Jimmy Smooth laid the foundation of what MCW was to be. And it's exactly what Damian Saint's leading the charge with. And Eric Schultz just does not align with those characteristics, and the fans are pissed off about that. So they really want to see someone take that championship off of Eric Schultz. And I, on the other hand, I want to see Eric Schultz lose that belt as well. You know, what a snake. Come on. Come on. You know, I don't know what else to say about that. I'm getting pretty pissed off just talking about it. You know, I don't really get along with Nick Nolan all the time, but I don't think he did anything. You know,
No.
that's just my
Big
opinion.
baby.
So
Nick was robbed.
I agree.
Nasty Nick was robbed. Let's be over the last month or two. Nasty Nick has put in the effort with these fans and really turned the direction around. And I've always been a fan of Nasty Nick, from seeing him at HAW to MCW to all over. You know, his clips go viral. He's one of the top superstars around, and for him not to be at MCW, it's sad. And the fact that Eric Schultz holds that title on a screw job, it don't sit right with me at all as a fan of MCW.
Hey, a lot of
he
people feel the same way, man.
He sits in that ring and yells at my table and calls us wrestling with marks and wrestling with jokes, and he just has all sorts of shit talking for wrestling with bros.
Yes.
Yeah, what a guy
Absolutely.
he is.
So Axel Rico for the W.
All right. So now we dig into the MCW street fight. You know, before we dig in too deep, we have some clips that were sent over by General Manager Damian Saint. But first, I want to play a clip of a promo that was cut earlier today by none other than the wild card Chris Mercer.
Do you think I have a choice? There is no fucking choice. I can't sit around anymore and watch time pass me by. I'm getting older. I'm getting grayer. Opportunity is going right out the window. So I gotta do something about it. I gotta stop bitching. I gotta stop moaning. I gotta stop complaining. I gotta stop being jealous of this guy. I gotta stop being envious of this guy. And I gotta start paying attention to this guy. Time to get back on track. I'm gonna beat your ass. Make no mistake. I'm coming for everything that I lost in my time away, or watching you be a success. And I love your success. I prayed for your success. I'm thankful for your success. Now's not the time to keep adding to your resume. Now's the time to start building mine. And it starts with you. That is the reason why I have been hot on your trail for much, much too long. Austin, I'm gonna beat you. And I'm gonna leave you right there in the middle of the ring with everyone else chanting A-M-B.
You know, guys, Chris Mercer had some very strong comments to make leading up to this street fight. Before we talk further, though, Big Baby, we had a clip sent over from Damian Saint from Austin earlier today at Bad Karma Wrestling Podcast at Illinois Media School. Why don't you go ahead and play that?
Whether
clip?
you guys want to buy tickets or not to come see some live pro wrestling show or to come see a literal fight, I promise you, day in, day out, when I step through that curtain, I give it everything that I have. Pro wrestling is my life. This is a lifestyle. To Chris, the Wildcard Mercer, this is just a fucking hobby. And I am sick of guys like Chris, the Wildcard Mercer, thinking they can make an example of me to further their success. It's time I show the world what I am capable of. And it all starts at MCW Street Fight on April 25th. I'm done.
Fire.
You know, you had some pretty strong notes there to say, saying that Chris the Wildcard Mercer sees this as a hobby. From my interview with Chris the other night, it seems like he's taken this pretty personally. Being on the shelf for 17 months due to an injury he received in a match against yourself, AMB. What do you have to say in regards to what you've heard Chris stating leading up to this fight? Because it seems like it's gotten pretty personal.
I think that says everything right there. I really don't have much to say anymore, you know? I was trying to bite my tongue. I was trying to keep my composure. But I go to Bad Karma Wrestling. Take the time out of my busy schedule to drive almost 2 hours out of my way. Get invited just to be poked at. For them to just play that without warning me, I was taken aback by that. And I tried to bite my tongue so hard that it almost fucking fell off. Excuse my language.
Oh, you're good.
This has been brewing for a long time between Chris and I. And it all started in September of 2023. We had our very first show at Skydive Chicago. Chris Mercer versus AMB. We do this dance all the time. Unfortunately, a 20-foot balcony dive costed Chris 17 months of his career. Multiple surgeries. The man couldn't work. He couldn't wrestle. He couldn't provide for his family. And for that, he has every reason to have a chip on his shoulder. I don't blame him for that. As a matter of fact, I can respect him for that because I would do the same damn thing. The difference is between Chris and myself is I have respect for the business. I put all my effort into MCW and into all these other promotions just for the opportunity to just learn and get better. And I don't ask for anything else other than that. I am killing myself, killing my body for shit pay. And I love every second of it. I don't take it for granted. I try to capitalize on every opportunity that has been given to me, and I'm going to continue to do so for as long as I choose to. Chris the Wildcard Mercer, you are not going to make an example out of myself. You couldn't do it to anybody else throughout your career. You're not going to do it to me. Now, personal. This has gotten very, very personal between Chris and myself. Simply being, he feels entitled. Forget these cameras. Forget everybody that's watching. I don't even care if nobody's watching. Chris the Wildcard Mercer, you feel entitled and you're envious of me. And not just myself. You've said it yourself. You're envious of a lot of other people. And that is something that sits wrong with you. Not anybody else. the way you're going about coming back from this injury, it makes sense. Man cannot tame what God wishes to be wild, is exactly what you said. Your mind state, the way you're going about everything, this has all got to come to an end. I'm tired of listening to you bitch and moan and complain. You broke your leg. Oh, this was an accident. And let's not mistake one thing, Chris. I was one of the first people, day in, day out, texting you every day, checking on you. And you fail to forget that. You don't remember who the people were there for you. Everybody was there for you, including Jimmy Smooth. Everyone was there for you since day one. Nobody's turned their back on you, myself included. You think that was intentional? Now you've made it personal.
You know, Austin, you say that he made it personal. Big Baby, we have a clip that I would like to play real quick where Chris made this 100% personal, especially with doing this on Austin's birthday.
Speaking he deserves.
I got something to say. And every goddamn one of you is gonna listen. This might be the first time seeing me for some of you, but you sure won't forget after today, because I don't give a goddamn whose birthday it is, because this is my moment. I am Chris, the wild card mercer. 17 is the goddamn number of months that I have been out with a broken ankle because of this little shit that you guys have idolized. Championship opportunities, the United States Championship, MCW Heavyweight Champion, the Jimmy Smooth Memorial Battle Royal. It was all mine to be had. I'm coming back for every single drop of momentum that I had taken away from me because of this guy right here. Every time he comes out here, I'm coming out too. Every single match he has, I'm going to be involved in it too. You will not see the last of me until this is over. And it ain't over until I win. So I'll leave you with this while you clean up your hero here. It's all right. You can have your personal opinion all you want. It ain't gonna change the fact of one thing. It ain't gonna change this. what God wishes to be wild.
You know, I do have to ask your opinion on this. This quote, "Man can't tame what God wishes to be wild." What's your thoughts on that, AMB?
Unfortunately, I think I'm starting to understand that mindset that Chris the Wildcard Mercer's in. Not only has he antagonized me on my birthday and ruined my time with my friends, my family. Hell, I had family that had never even seen me wrestle at that show. People who had traveled hours, multiple states to come see me do what I do best and just have a good time and entertain the people. And he robbed them of that. And it all started when I won the Jimmy Smooth Memorial Rumble last May. It came down to him and I, and that's why I say he feels entitled. There's one little bit in that segment that he said he's coming for everything that he lost, every drop of momentum, every ounce of momentum that he had. I don't think there was much to begin with, because when I looked across that ring that night in the Jimmy Smooth Memorial Rumble, I didn't see the same Chris Wildcard Mercer that I once was introduced to in PWX when I first met him. I seen someone who was tired, withered, and not at 100%, and I think he knows that. And I think that's why he's a little shook that I challenged him to a match like a street fight. Chris, this is one of your first matches back since your injury, one of your first real challenges, and it starts with me. And you know you're not going to get the same A and B that you asked for originally. You've made this too personal. This all comes to an end in 7 days. Skydive Chicago and Ottawa, Illinois. I don't care win, lose, or draw. Blood will be shed. I don't care what the outcome is. I'm going to tell you, just like I told everybody else earlier on Bad Karma Wrestling. When it comes to the Midwest pro wrestling scene, nobody does what they do as good as me.
Facts.
Facts. Absolutely.
I've been waiting for someone to push me to this limit. And I'm sorry, Chris. You're betting all your chips that my career will come to an end on April 25th. And just like you and everybody else who continues to doubt me, I'm going to show everybody that A and B does not die. I'm going to show everybody that my heart, my soul, my passion, my desire to keep moving forward, regardless of what is in my way, that energy, the support from the fans, that is what keeps my heartbeat going. It's going to take a whole hell of a lot more than you to keep me down. So you can bring all the weapons that you want. I don't care. Nobody is ready for this side of A and B. And I don't think anybody is expecting what they are going to witness on April 25th.
All right. You know, Big Baby, in Austin, you said that you issued the challenge for a street fight. And I want to go ahead as we get ready to close this out here. And let's go ahead and play that video. We got that sent over to us as well by Damian Saint earlier today.
Chris the wild card Mercer. You can show up in my hometown on my birthday of all times in front of my friends, my family, and try and embarrass me just because you feel you need a little bit of retribution? I told you once and I'll tell you again, this was not intentional, but you want to make it personal, Chris. What you just did to me tonight, you have no idea what I'm going to do to you April 25th. Because I'm going to beat the living shit out of you when I challenge you to a street fight April 25th in Ottawa, Illinois, Skydive, Chicago. And I don't want to hear no excuses. I will be in the middle of that ring, doing what I do best, putting on my heart on full display. And by the end of the match, everyone will know exactly why they cheer AMB.
As you've seen there, guys, MCW Skydive Chicago in Ottawa, Illinois, April 25th. Doors open at 6. Show starts at 7, guys. You do not want to miss out on this street fight. You can check out MCW on their Facebook pages, also on Instagram. Austin, why don't you go ahead and share with them where they can get the tickets for this show?
Yeah, absolutely. Follow Midwest Championship Wrestling on Facebook. We have an event page that's directly set up. Every post that is featured in our event page, and even some that are featured on the main page as well. Share that ticket link. Feel free to click that. Tickets are currently on sale. Tickets will go back to the $20 general admission price on the day of the show. So on April 25th, tickets will go back to $20. Right now, you can get your tickets on sale for $15. Kids tickets are $10. 6 and under, 6 years and old under are free. So definitely, you're not going to want to miss it as well. MCW has done a good job. Again, just trying to provide different opportunities for people and just give everybody a chance to showcase themselves. 6:30, 6:45-ish, around that time, there will be a pre-show match. Damian Saint will have an announcement going into that pre-show match that you will not want to miss. So definitely try to get your tickets, try to get there a little early. Feel free to, if you see a wrestler, feel free to ask, feel free to interact, get a picture, just be respectable, come on out to MCW. It's going to be a good time. Tickets are also available on Instagram. We have a ticket link also on our bio. And they're also kind of shared with every post as well. You might have to copy and paste the link and then actually insert it into the website yourself. But tickets are available. Again, they are on sale for a cheap price, affordable price of $15. So you're definitely not going to want to miss this entire show, from match 1 all the way to the pre-show, all the way to the main event, all the way to this championship match with Axel Rico and Eric Schultz. Everything is going to be worth the price of admission. And I promise you're not going to want to miss Damian Saint's announcements throughout the night. We got some big things kind of coming up at MCW that I personally am excited for. So definitely come check out Midwest Championship Wrestling. Follow us on social media. And support Wrestling with Bros as well. They're an independent local podcast platform that showcase and highlight independent wrestlers like myself and other promotions like MCW, like Honor Among Wrestling, like CSW and Dreamwave and all these other places. We're all just big wrestling fans at the end of the day.
Hell yeah.
Just trying to contribute and show each other love and just create something positive for everybody. So definitely like, subscribe, and click the bell if you're on YouTube. And feel free to drop some comments. A lot of us, we're very open to interacting with you fans. If it wasn't for you guys, we could not do what we do. So
absolutely. You couldn't have said it better myself. Greatly appreciate AMB for you coming on the show tonight and giving us a good conclusion to this back and forth promo fight between you and Chris Mercer. Him coming on the other night, you coming on tonight, and now we have a nice tight seal leading into the fight April 25th, Ottawa, Illinois, and Skydive Chicago. Big baby.
You're going to hear Chaos play twice that night. That's all I got to tell you fans. AMB is going to get the W, and shout out to Rafael Quintero. Can't wait to see him in action. You don't want to miss this. You Skydive Chicago, MCW. The atmosphere is awesome. It's such a, I love being a part of MCW, such as Judas too. Go MCW all the way.
Absolutely. All righty.
Yeah, I would just like to thank you guys again. There's been a lot of work on everybody's end over at MCW, just trying to prepare for this show. If you haven't gotten your ticket yet, I will just explain again where you can get your tickets. Follow Midwest Championship Wrestling Illinois on Facebook and Instagram. We have ticket links in our bios and featured on all of our posts. And we also have an event page set up as well. So feel free to click on the event page. We have a lot more information and a lot more stuff being posted in there. I know we weren't able to really showcase a lot of those promos that MCW had been posting throughout the last couple days. But feel free to go over to their socials, check those promos out. You're not going to want to miss it. MCW Street Fight, MCW World Championship match. You got a United States Championship appearance with Rafael Quintero. We're not exactly sure what's going to happen with him yet. But again, it's Rafael Quintero, man. Get your ticket, Jack and Eddie, the OGs. You got the Risky Business. You got Robbie and Stone, White Meat. You got FXB Lizardman and the Mutants. You got Reagan Lydell. You got Leslie Michelle. You got Davina Thorne looking to make a new impression at MCW. Bright, up-and-coming female talent in the Midwest wrestling scene. And, we got a kick-ass pre-show scramble that is going to be something you guys also will not want to miss.
Awesome.
Get your tickets. Show up a little early. Come hang out with us at Skydive Chicago, April 25th in Ottawa, Illinois, man. It's going to be one event that hopefully everyone wants to be talking about for the next few months. I know this street fight mentally for myself, I'm getting as prepared for it as I can. So you guys might see me die that night, just a forewarning, just letting everybody know. But by chance, if I do die, I love you guys. And everything that I've done with pro wrestling, everything I've done with pro wrestling has been fruitful. And I'm looking forward to it, man. Definitely come support your hometown hero, myself. If you're in the Ottawa, Illinois area, if you haven't been to MCW, we got something cooking for everybody. So.
Oh yeah.
Well, this is Big Baby Ben.
This is Judas Black. This has been an amazing exclusive with the one.